It was 2014, and I was pregnant with my first child, my only child. That was 3.5 years ago when he was born. I worked for a company called Kaiser Permanente, still currently there, and they did offer a partial paid maternity leave. But depending on whether the mom had a cesarean or she had a natural birth, um, that's when you were told you were either going to have 6 weeks of partial paid maternity leave or 8 weeks of partial paid maternity leave. I had a natural birth, so I had 6 weeks through my insurance. Partial paid, which was about 60% of my paycheck, my normal paycheck. The other 12 weeks were offered by our government, which was unpaid maternity leave, and that is by the FMLA program. And it was titled baby bonding, so I used about 6 weeks of that, and then I saved the other 6 weeks for later in the year to use for my son, because you were allowed to use that up to the first year of his life, of the child's life. So in total, I used 12 weeks to be with my son and to heal and go through the process. 6 weeks partial paid, and then 6 weeks unpaid. I couldn't do any more than that. I felt like I was lucky enough to have those 12 weeks with him, but definitely needed a lot more. And the reason I felt lucky was because I had a friend in Florida that they didn't offer that for her. Her job didn't offer any paid leave, neither did her government. And I've heard that story many a times. So part of me felt lucky and blessed. The other part of me would be sad, because I was forced to go back to work when I wasn't ready, and my child was not ready absolutely at all. It was devastating, it was hard, but we have to do what we have to do. We have to keep our jobs, and we have to pay for rent, we have to pay for bills, all the necessities in life that you just have to take care of as an adult. So, yeah, our system, our government, our state, all our states in America need to have a paid maternity leave for so many reasons. So many moms don't even get the 6 weeks. They have to probably go to work within a week or 2 weeks. I don't know. They have terrible circumstances, worse than mine. So I have 3 points that I'm going to discuss. First, I will start with the positive benefits of having a paid maternity leave. So let's begin there. So there's a few benefits that the newborn will have if the mom was offered a paid maternity leave. The newborn will have a lot more nutrition because the mom will actually have higher rates of successful breastfeeding. Being able to stay at home with your child, the mom will automatically have more success, increase the successful rates of initiating that breastfeeding with the child. She won't have to worry about pumping at work every 2 hours to keep that milk supply coming in. She'll be at home feeding the baby whenever they are hungry, whenever they need it. So this alone in the breastfeeding will benefit the newborn with immune protection, the best nutrition, regulates their growth, their development, their metabolism, and so many more benefits. Breastfeeding, if you look into it, has benefits for the newborn, which I listed, and so much more, and also for the mother, because it reduces so many chances of cancers, of breast cancer, ovarian cancer. It also reduces the chance of the mother actually bleeding out after the delivery. And it reduces the postpartum depression for the mother as well, which, as an experience, I feel like it had a lot of benefits for myself as well. 3.5 years old, and my son is still actually breastfeeding. I don't think that matters to this point. But so moving on to my second point would be the positive effects of having a paid maternity leave offered by your job, the businesses. They actually do have a very good impact. And according to research that I found by an article titled "Better Parental Leave is Not a Perk, It's Actually Smart Business." Mothers who have used the FMLA programs are 93% more likely to return to work. And this alone will initially save the company money, time, and productivity, because they won't lose any valuable time or productivity in their business by hiring somebody else, retraining them, and making sure that that person actually gets it as quick as everybody else in the company. In this research, it has also shown that 91% of businesses have offered paid maternity leave didn't dent their gap and their productivity. So that shows you that having a paid maternity leave does support our economic growth. It can help close the gender gap as well, that most corporations to this day still have that issue. And according to the fact sheet that I put together, that I actually printed out and was put together by our government and our senators, it has shown a quote that I'll go ahead and read on. So the quote says, "On average, women's earnings still lag behind men's, which has consequences for the economy, security of women and their families." And this is a quote straight out from the fact sheet that was put together by our government. And on another study, women maintain or even increase their weekly working hours among those with a child that is at the age of 1 and 3. So those are good chances. And I would actually, if I was a business owner, I would take those chances. I would go ahead and offer a paid maternity leave. It's going to benefit your economy. It's going to help close that gap, that gender gap. So it's definitely a positive impact. And on to my third and last point is the positive impacts of the children once they're at older age and they're past that newborn stage, that infant of their first year. So mothers who get to stay home for at least the first year of the newborn's life have had many benefits, and it has shown in the research and the studies that have done. And out of one of the research study, there is a quote that I wrote, and it said, "Children are known to have greater success in cognitive and social emotional development when parents have the opportunity to stay home with them during their first year of life." That first year of life is so important for the child. And it has been discovered that sick children recover faster when a parent has the ability to stay home with them. Whether it's the flu, the cold, or fighting a cancer, or anything more serious, it benefits them to have one parent home to take care of them. And in another study, it has shown that the duration of a child in a hospital shortens by 31% when a parent is present. 31%, that's big. So my question to you is, how important is your child's health? Because if a parent has the ability and the entitlement of a paid leave program, the children have shown to experience better health outcomes and lower rates of mortality. So I leave you with this. A paid maternity leave program in America is a necessity for so many reasons,